regular meeting of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken has been provided to the public in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice of this annual reorganization meeting of Thursday, May 9th, 2013 was sent to the Jersey Journal as a public notice on Wednesday, May 1st, 2013 as notification to the general public of said meeting and sent to the City Clerk of Hoboken on Wednesday, May 1st, 2013 with a copy of the agenda to be posted on the aforementioned bulletin board. I direct the minutes of this meeting to state that I've announced that adequate notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Now I am going to open the floor to nominations for chairman, and I nominate Greg Lincoln.
I'm sorry, hold on, give me a moment. Mr. Chairman, once you read the Open Public Meetings Act, if we follow along, the board secretary, you have to direct the board secretary to open up the floor for the nominations.
Mr. Secretary, will you open the floor for the nominations, please?
Thank you. The first order of business was the nomination and election for a chair and vice chair to serve until the next annual meeting on Thursday, May 9th, 2013. The chairman directs the board secretary to conduct the election of the officers for the coming year. Are there any nominations on the floor?
I nominate Greg Lincoln.
Okay.
Is there a second for
Was there a second on that?
Commissioner Lincoln?
Second for Greg Lincoln. Well, you don't need a second, but I would second for Rob.
Okay, so it seems like there's a tie there to the finish line.
So let's...
We'll do. Can you pass the microphone? Is there another microphone, Robert?
Wait a minute. I'd like to know if Mr. Lincoln had done his classes and is he's finished with his classes, because if not, he cannot be the chair.
Mr. Dagley, is that an accurate statement?
There is nothing in the bylaws that says that someone can't be the chair. There is no indication of what it is. However, and I'll let Commissioner Gonzalez make a statement. However, it does say that he has to be duly, hold on, I'll get the phrase.
Elected and qualified.
Duly elected and qualified. It's not defined. The qualified could mean that he's a commissioner. Qualified could mean that he is fully able to perform all of the functions, which would be as the chairman. And if he hasn't taken all his classes, qualified could mean that he's not up to speed on all of the classes. So qualified could be interpreted as that. I cannot give you a legal definition of what qualified means, except to say that qualified does mean that you're fully able to perform all of the functions. So there is no definition in law, there's no definition on Robert's rules, but you must be qualified. Qualified means that you have all the certifications, all of the commissioner and all that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dagley. Now let's call the vote. The first...
Hold on,
the first...
Mr. Chairman. Two things, just for the record. I think many of you who've done your courses at the New Jersey, what is called EDP, with respect to the educational courses, understands that with what Corporation Counsel just noted as qualified, the question on the table is whether Commissioner Lincoln had done any of his courses. Hopefully, I know that he will be taking the first course as the spring or summer schedule comes out. But as the board secretary, I think it's important to probably get that question answered on what the definition, whether we can get that answered through DCA or through Rutgers, and I think that is something you might want to take into account. Also, I think the secretary of the Christopher Columbus Gardens Tenant Association would like to say something, which represents the Resident Advisory Board, which they have a right under the as Resident Advisory Board officers to speak with the board prior to nomination of any officers. So I'd like to recognize Ms. Morissette.
Deborah Morissette, 455 Pine Street. We, the undersigned residents of the Hoboken Housing Authority. Oh, spell your name. Morissette, Morrissette, 455 9th Street. We, the undersigned residents of the Hoboken Housing Authority, request the removal of the current chairperson and support the appointment of Rob Davis as the new chairperson. In addition, we request the next commissioner to be a resident of the Hoboken Housing Authority. This is our right. We have the right to vote on this, and we are presenting you with this petition.
Mr. Secretary, thank you for your comments.
And apparently Marion was removed for the same reason that Mr. Lincoln is here, so I think that should be addressed also.
Can we have a vote on the nominations now? Thank you very much. Now, can we have a vote on the nominations?
Since there was a tie.
The first nomination was for Greg Lincoln.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, as the board secretary, you have a tie on the floor.
As the board secretary, your job is to follow the instructions of the chairman, which are to call the vote on Commissioner Lincoln.
That is incorrect, Mr. Chairman.
Don't look at the we're idiots. We're not stupid. Why is Marion removed?
Okay, so on the nomination for Jean Rodriguez as for Rob Davis as chairperson, we will call the vote.
Yes. Take it from the audience.
Commissioner, and excuse me if we may, please, respectfully, we're going to call the roll call. There's a nomination on the floor from Jean Rodriguez, Commissioner, for Rob Davis, as well as a second, and then we will do both. On the roll call, Commissioner Lincoln. Yes.
If you vote yes, you're voting for Rob
Yes.
Davis. If you vote no, you're voting against Rob. Just making sure.
Commissioner Mello.
No.
Commissioner Burrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Vice Chair Davis.
Yes.
All right.
Chairman Stuiver.
No.
On the roll call, congratulations, Chairman Davis. Mr. Chairman Davis, I will now hand over the meeting back to you to do the nomination for Vice Chair.
All of us, you can't tell to one and not the other.
Jake and,
This is,
Jay.
Bye-bye. Bye. Don't let the dog hit you. Don't let the dog hit you.
Excuse me. The empty seat, we request to be a Hoboken Housing resident. Immediately, which we would like to have Barbara.
Yes.
Barbara, take your seat.
all right. Let's bring it down, folks. Let's bring it down.
But this Rob, what was the standard that Marion was
Is they supposed to leave like that? No, he abandoned his post. But you know what? He left. He went to get the car.
All right, now I'd like to open up the floor for the nomination of the vice chair. And I'd like to nominate Jean Rodriguez for vice chair. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate David Mello.
David Mello's on the floor.
She got hurt for Marion. Same thing you wanted to do tonight.
For the first vote, you're voting yes, you're voting for Jean Rodriguez. If you're voting no, you're voting against Jean Rodriguez, then there'll be a second.
All right. Commissioner Lincoln?
Remember how they do Marion?
Ms. Burrell? Commissioner Mello? No. Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Jeannie? Yes, myself.
Now what happens?
Take the vote for Commissioner Mello.
That's a tie vote. Now the vote for Commissioner Mello.
Commissioner Lincoln?
You're voting yes, you're voting for Commissioner Mello, you're voting no, you're voting against Commissioner.
Commissioner Burrell? Commissioner Mello? Commissioner Gonzalez? Commissioner Rodriguez? Commissioner David? Nay.
So at the moment, that position will be unfilled until it's vacant, and the chair will be until the chair makes another nomination in the future meetings.
Push another one in for the council.
Chairman, now a vote is needed for the schedule of meetings.
All right, let's call a vote for the meetings for the new year. Greg Lincoln.
This is voting now is for the resolution which is attached to your agenda, which sets up the meeting pursuant to the bylaws as the second Thursday of every month.
That's right, that's right.
Yes.
Cool. Greg? Commissioner Burrell? Commissioner Mello?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez? And I say yes.
Stephen, leave us alone. We're gonna get you.
Chairman, the next one would be, with respect to the committees, I guess normally the chair would ask if anyone is interested in certain committees to let you know, and then at the following meeting in June, that's when you would appoint those individuals.
Yeah, we can set that.
Would you like to do the same? Okay, so if anyone's interested in any of the 4 committees that are established, which the committees being security, facilities, landscaping, tenant selection committee, and that of the finance committee.
All right, let's take a motion to close this meeting.
Motion.
All right. Roll call. Commissioner Lincoln? Yes. Commissioner Burrell? Commissioner Mello? Yes. Okay. Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez? I say yes as well. We adjourn this meeting.
Mr. Davis, could I please say something, President?
That's the next meeting.
You look good there. That's your goal. I like it.
Excuse me, hold on. And for the next meeting, if you don't mind, we'd ask that you guys can speak at that meeting. There was a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor? Okay, thank you.